Creators can support your channel in even... Okay, well, why are they not? Okay, you guys, I keep trying and trying and trying. So many issues with whatever, it's reception or whatever. Bear with me. It is a learning curve for me, but I will get it. I have it in the sling. I don't know why I'm calling it a sling. Okay. Bear with me now. Okay, it sounds like all the moving parts are good. So let's get to it. I was gonna try this. Little lamp to see if it helps with. You know what? I'm just gonna stick it on there and hope it was a good idea. How's that for a little extra light? All right, you guys, let's get a story going. These are all the cards from the previous story that was done. I have the new color of lights in the order that's next. We've got green and green with the red fireplace. I see the lobster happening. We've got the rodent. We've got the layered. There's a lot of layers to this. We have the rodent or squirrely behavior, or there's a rat in the mix. There's destructive behaviors going on behind the scenes, and they have no fear, no shame, no nothing. They're just going for it. Someone could be a pack rat. We've got this lobster here. Could be someone's other half. Someone could be trying to live the high life, considering Robin Hood just came out underneath it. Steal from the rich, give to the poor. We have a doctor here. It's a doctor's hat. Working on their shadow self. This could be the doctor I was talking about in previous story. Plenty of layers to the story. There's a lot of players, a lot of people, a lot of things, a lot of moving parts. And someone is going around and just collecting all this information. The lobster is a bottom feeder. They clean up the bottom of the oceans or where they live. Have friends tell it. Lobster is somebody's significant other. It's their other half. It's the person that they were meant to be with. The person they work best with. Maybe it's a doctor for some people. We have Sasquatch and dimensions going on here. Sasquatch is an elusive creature. You don't know whether Sasquatch is real or not. Some people could be feeling this way about the relationship that they end up having with someone. Maybe like a 5D kind of relationship. One that's not so 3D. Wouldn't that be nice? $5D is more of the spiritual plane where we live here on Earth in the 3D, where things are more earthly and more about materialistic. There's no rhyme or reason to how I shuffle the cards. I try to do top to bottom, middle to back, and all that stuff. And if I know what the back card is, I won't take it. Leave it. Okay. Bottom of the deck we have sprout. Something is definitely coming to the surface. Someone is reaping what they have sown. Something someone thought was dead and buried probably is sprouting a little life of its own. It wasn't expected. We've got someone with a Bob. This could be Robert. This could be someone with the name Bob. The name Rob. What was the female version of the word? Robin was the female name of the male version of Robert or Bob. This would be a conservative person, more mature in age perhaps. They like a more mature style. But of course young girls would have that cut, or even men can have that same haircut. So it could just be someone who has that or portrays that kind of hairstyle. We've got love me not. We've had this card in plenty of the stories this week. Someone pulls those petals and wonders whether someone loves them or not. It's usually someone who is more concerned about the feelings of someone else towards them versus the feelings that maybe they have towards someone else, because they're just kind of sitting there in a state of, woe is me, I wonder, when you could just go ask. I don't know why I keep thinking that this is a male person wondering if someone loves them or not. I know that as kids, the girls and I would do like this, but it's like, hello, you're completely destroying what is to be able to ask a question of a maybe. You know, you never know. We've got a raccoon. Kind of brings up our little rodents, our little rodent friends. The raccoon is a thief. Scavenger, really. I mean, they make do with what they can find. They tend to just take what is given to them or what is left behind. Other people's trash is another man's treasure. I don't have any information. I really miss those days where I was able to work on the art part and the coloring part, but I couldn't stay up till 4 in the morning and still do what I needed to do the next day, so I had to, what gives. Someone's being forced to be quiet. I'm wondering if this is a third party who tried to steal somebody's significant other, considering we had those lobsters. Maybe they tried to come in and steal that person's person, and that's what they buried and hid. And now they're being forced to be quiet about it. Yeah, I have another shush card, and that one is not a forced shush. It's just kind of like, oh, don't tell. You know, it's exciting. Don't tell. This is like, you better not say anything. Do not say a word. So maybe maybe the person they tried to steal from the significant other, maybe they both knew about it before that person came in and tried to steal the person. I don't know, folks. We have two cards coming out together. We've got the hammer and the moon. All this work is going to be illuminated. Something that was done repeatedly on the moon cycles. Question. We question why. Why would anyone do that? Again, with the questions. Just keep asking questions, folks. If somebody doesn't want to answer your questions, then maybe they're not the person for you. And maybe that's hammering away at the questions. Why would someone not want someone to say anything? Why would someone bury something and not expect it to grow or sprout? We have a warning label. This card, it's just the words on there, but this card was derived for the fact of, you know how when you get a pillow or a mattress and it says, don't take this label off. It can only be taken off by the person who makes the purchase of the pillow or the mattress. And then it's like you get it home and you still don't want to take the label off just because it says, you know, don't take it off. Salt and pepper, shakers, movers and shakers. Now I have to charge that little light, but at least it works. The salt and pepper shakers. This person can have salt and pepper hair, so they can be up in age, like we were saying with the bob haircut. Adding a little spice. It's the shakers and movers of the group. Being seasoned. My dad told me this story once when I don't remember if he was interviewing someone or he heard a story. Maybe his boss told him a story about the fact that they went on a lunch interview with someone and the person automatically salted their food when it arrived. They never even tasted the food first to see if it even needed the salt. And so they actually put its salt on something that probably didn't even need salt, and they never even checked. So that person did not get hired. That was enough for that person to know that that person was not a match for what they needed them for. And that was actually the reason why I even did the salt shaker card, because of that. So, and that also goes with the questions. Always question everything before you get involved in it. If you have to question someone's love for you, then maybe you already know the answer. My mom used to say that. If you have to question, then you already know the answer. So take heed. We've got the microphone. Someone's going to make something very loud and clear. Someone is center stage. Someone has a spotlight. Or maybe someone just loves karaoke, or maybe they are really a performer. Could they be putting on a show? You have to check in with your discernment on these things. Especially in love. They always say people change after the 3rd month of knowing each other. They change all of a sudden. It's like they're on their best behavior, but 3 months rolls around and boy, oh boy, that mask falls off. Be mindful of that. We've got the monster. Look at that. Isn't that perfect timing? We've got a thief and a monster. We don't know who this monster is. We don't know what kind of monster this is. Are they truly a monster, or are they just said to be a monster? Maybe somebody knows, but you better not say anything. You keep it to yourself. I just realized these two came out together, right? So that's supposed to be one card. And then we've got 3, 4, 5, 6, and then monster is the end of the row over here. That makes more sense. And we've got the green. What's his name? Frankenstein, he was that interesting shade of green, wasn't he, in the original? We've got the number 11, significant other, balance, making a decision when it adds up to a 2, the pillars. 11 is not a perfect number because that is 10. 10 is the perfect number. Intuition, heightened awareness, connection between physical and spiritual worlds, awakening, divine guidance, a call to a higher purpose, transition, revelation, synchronicities, pay attention. Again with the pay attention's warning label. Balance, duality. And then we've got the shakers here, which is also duality. So when this person comes in, they may be coming in to tell you about a warning on someone else, or they could be coming in to tell you that someone was saying that you needed the warning label on you. This person was trying to shake things up, so they can have all the attention. Maybe they didn't want someone to focus on you. They wanted everyone to focus on them. And they were saying that you were a monster and you needed a warning label. If someone comes in and tells you this about another person, though, you want to be mindful. You want to be able to use discernment and the duality of it all. Someone's coming in to try to steal the show. I don't know why I keep wanting to pull from the bottom. What is it? The turtle. Slow and steady wins the race. The evidence will show, right? Their actions will show what kind of person they are. Just watch what they're doing. Someone's being taken care of. Maybe they're sugarcoating something. I don't know why I'm thinking a hard pill to swallow. We've got the straitjacket. They're super sweet, but they're crazy. They're not, you know, they want to harm you or harm others. They're part of a network of some sort, some kind of creative plan that they've got going on. Yet another resource network, which is what the yarn, the YARN stands for, which has to do with large scale, what does that say? Disputed operating system for big data applications. In Australia, it is to have a chat, a long, rambling story like a big yarn. Someone spun, about to unravel. That could go along with that needing a straitjacket. They may seem sweet, but they're about ready to unravel. Gotta watch out for that one. Keep an eye on them. Might be coming in to make an offer of some sort. Maybe they want to tell you about all this stuff that was said, and at the same time they want to make you an offer of some sort. And someone is saying you need to really, and it has to do with work, so you need to really make sure that you ask all the questions that you need to ask. They may even feel like you're putting them on the spot. And they might get nervous. They may not know how to even respond to those things. The apple. Teacher, education, nutrition. An apple day keeps the doctor away. We had the doctor with the opening split cards. It's also the 5-pointed star. It stands for the 5 elements. Earth, air, fire, water, and the elements. Spirit harmonized. I wonder how come I can't say certain words. That's weird. Spirit harmonized in the human experience, protection, and balance. Again with the balance and protection. Fiber, cycles of life. If you haven't had an apple in a while, do a Honeycrisp apple. Those are really good. I just saw those today and I remembered all about them. I'm like, oh my gosh, I should get a whole bag, but I won't eat the whole bag. Again with the visitor card. We've gotten the visitor at least 3 times this week, and you guys saw me shuffle. Boy, that stinks. Poop stinks, folks. It sure does. Again with the supervising. If your dog goes poop, you got to clean it up, right? And the fly is just going to go ahead and land on it because it's just doing its job. If you leave it, I'm sorry, but if you leave your poop behind and you don't pick it up, then you're just not nice. I mean, even if you don't have a bag, there's other things that you can use in order to pick that up. I don't want to say pull the grass out, But if there's remnants there, I will kind of cut the grass in order to get the remnants. That's just me. And the people who leave the bag there on the side of the road, I don't know if they thought they were going to come back or not, but it's poison, folks. Maybe someone's constipated and it's making their body toxic. You got to clean that fishbowl out. Even if it's something you got to manually do, you got to keep it clean. Someone is backed up, someone is dirty, someone is toxic. They're dangerous to themselves, they're dangerous to other people. They need a warning tag. You need to ask the questions. I don't know who this visitor is. I hope we get some initials when I pull the other cards. This is a colon. Again with the bowels. Hello. Also reminds me of a bowling ball. And it has the number 8 in here. So it could have something to do with August. Usually goes with a list. Or when you're writing a letter to someone. In this case, you're coming in to tell all this information about somebody, of what was said or what had happened. Maybe it's a whole long list of things that have happened or what they've done that perhaps you didn't know about. We've got the chameleon. Someone's trying to blend in with the scenery. They don't want to be seen. They don't want to be noticed. Unless they do, and they are able to do that for themselves. Maybe this person, what is it called when people mask? And they just kind of copy what other people do, so that way they can look like they're normal or they fit in with everybody else, when actually they can't just be who they are. I mean, the more people who are different show themselves as being different, the more people will understand and learn how to accept or acknowledge or even find different as being normal, if that makes any sense. I know for a long time oh, it looks like a strawberry now that I'm looking at it. How cute is that? I know for a long time I toned my own personality down just because I'm a little bit, I had ADHD when I was a kid. I mean, obviously I still have it, but I'd be able to learn the tools in order to kind of blend in a little bit more. But there was a girl that came into our store once, and she was just who she was, unapologetically, authentically herself, and she just had so much spunk and so much energy and just so much personality. I was like, you know what? That was a breath of fresh air. That was really nice to be able to come across someone who allowed their personality to shine without even worrying about what someone else was going to think about them. Because I know I used to go out to the stores and talk to people while I was shopping, and people would just kind of look at me sideways. So I kind of toned that back a little bit, like, don't talk to strangers. But I mean, obviously I like to have conversations and talk about the little things in life that are really the big things. You know what I mean? We've got this attachment here to success. This chameleon, I haven't decided if I'm going to do, well, obviously the chameleon, I was going to do the bright, beautiful, bright colors. But I didn't know if I wanted to have it blend in towards the back with all the big, bright, beautiful flower colors in the back, or just have a big, bright, beautiful chameleon with like the greens and stuff in the back. I haven't decided. If you have any ideas, put it in the comments. That would be awesome. And for whoever's comment, well, it could be a whole bunch of people saying the same thing, so maybe not. Okay. I'm kind of really tired, you guys. It is, what time is it? It was like 3 o'clock. I hope the Bluetooth is still on. Yeah, it's 3:18 in the morning. And I worked, I think I did a 10-hour day today. I don't recall. We've got pocket, lucky. Someone's got a lucky pocket. We've got attachment to success, luck, and a pocket. The number 9, someone learned their lesson. It's the end of a cycle for a guy of some sort who's been a busy bee, trying to blend in perhaps, and not look like they're harming anyone, who has salt and pepper hair. Oh, look at that. We've got the female card. How cute. So maybe this couple has been busy little bees. We've got a bridge here. Maybe these people are going to meet each other while someone's out being really busy, and that's going to be the bridge that brings them together. Bridging the gap, success and bridging the gap and making the offer to someone who might be at their wit's end. And then we've got storage for our outcome card. Bridging the memories? Why would anyone need to bridge the memories? Bridge their belongings? Maybe bring them to a place where they're able to recover the things that belong to them because the raccoon took them? Wouldn't that be nice? We've got the bridge, and you better not say anything. Maybe they're going to come and say something. We've got the lucky and then the monster. So someone who was portrayed as being a monster is actually quite lucky, and that's why they were portrayed that way, because they didn't want that person or anyone to get close to them. They probably assumed that somebody was just lucky because they had someone in their pocket. But I like the end of the cycle as far as the poison and the detoxing is concerned. Questioning, why are they being supervised? Or maybe someone was taking care of someone to the point where it was just toxic for the person they were taking care of because that person couldn't take care of themselves now. Poop in the pocket. It stinks. Her pocket stinks. Maybe it stinks that someone was in their pocket. Attachment to success. So they wanted to succeed at all costs. The chameleon is looking right there at the colon, the list. The list of toxic things that were just dumped. And that straitjacket is looking right up at that yarn and the microphone. So maybe whatever they were witnessing on the computer or the network system or the negotiation, whatever they were talking about, drove them to a place of just not being okay. Maybe they ate too much sugar. They had sugar imbalances. Maybe someone being sweet drove them nuts. Like that old adage, their light made their darkness uncomfortable. I know I said it wrong. triggered their demons. Their light triggered their demons. So maybe them being so sweet made them uncomfortable. But we do have that spiritual protection card, and then we've got the turtle protecting its house. It's got that hard shell that protects its body. And then, of course, the poor snail has a shell to protect its body, but it's not so hard. It's very fragile. And then we've got the green lighthouse over there, which is the green is the symbol of healing. And then, of course, money, right? And finances. And I know it's one of the heart chakra. And then we've got the strawberry going with the fireplace. Super cute. Or it could be passion with healing. That's so cute now that I look at it. Just, I know I'm going to keep saying it over and over again. Bridging the storage. Bridging the things they hold on to. Bridging their memories. Bridging the things that are important to them. This man and this woman. Maybe they just keep themselves so busy. I have to do another card. And we've got the lipstick, the makeup card. Also a concealing card. Storing their memories and making up. Live in peace. Someone asked me one time, can't you compartmentalize that? What happened? And I said, sure, I could why can't I say it now? Like, sure, I can do that, but I still know that it happened. And when you do that, you're usually doing it with a situation outside of the situation that you're in, and this is the situation that we're in, so it's kind of impossible. I don't know. It was a bizarre kind of conversation, and I was just like, that makes no sense. 1% on the top of the card. I know that was from another story. Center of the spread, we have the candy and the colon, the list of sweetness. So the person that they were doing all this trash talk about, they're obviously, someone can say more sweet things about this person than they can say things that are toxic about this person. And they seriously did not want this person to have the life that they were intended to have. So that's why they were going behind everybody and saying all these horrible things, trying to have people not even associate. Okay, Bob. Okay, Rob. Okay, Robert. Thing is, love always wins, right? Strawberry shortcake. Oh, let's go. Let go of it. Entertaining. Boundaries. Someone wants you to let go of your boundaries and just say, oh, it was just entertainment. Time to celebrate. It was just funny. It wasn't serious. $12 upside down. Don't judge. 12 is always my judge card. Could have been a whole panel. A team. There was a lady there. Did you know that the clock actually had 13 numbers on it? I just saw a YouTube video that implied that. That the original time it went up to 13. And I know we were supposed to have 13 months in the calendar as well. That's what I mean by use your discernment, because there's so many things that were one way and they changed it to another way, and then we live in a whole different time frame of when. I mean, the time that it is now isn't even what time it really is, if you really think about it, if we're doing it on that. So we've got mature on upside down where I'm stopping because nothing's coming out. So someone's acting real immature about things. Maybe they go out and celebrate and can't control their liquor. Maybe they have low impulse control. We've got candy showing up again. Care. Watch a person comes in and brings you candy. Foe coming in upside down again. We had that in the other story. So someone is your friend. They're a fake friend. It's plastic, right side up. They're a fake friend. They're gonna say that they care. They're not gonna be so suave about it. They're not gonna no touch. Candy, right side up. It's obviously gonna be hard for this person to come in and say anything. Friend or foe. So it's a friend, a fake friend. Lucky pockets. Is that somebody's got money in their pockets because they're lucky? Lesson learned. Maybe they just want to come in for the lucky pockets. And you already know the lesson before the lesson even had to be dealt out, because you were listening to your discernment. You're going to hammer away and ask all those questions to able to illuminate the truth. You're going to see the warning signs ahead of time. You're going to use your discernment. You're going to shake things up, and you're going to make that announcement about who's the real monster. You'll probably keep it to yourself because, you know, that's just a more mature thing to do. With that being said, make it a great day. Thanks for being here. And good night. Let me see if I can turn this off now. This is hilarious. I'll be so happy the one day that I get to be able to do this and it will all be laid out professional. Oopsie. Sorry about that. Alright, folks. Take care. Bye. From a Game Boy? No, I'm streaming from my phone. And it said I have to do it in portrait style, so I don't know what that's about. It seems like other people stream it in kind of any other way that want to, but I don't know about it. I'll have to do some research. If you have any information, you could always comment on it when it's not a live video anymore. After it's uploaded, you can comment on it and tell me how in the world I'm supposed to make it so I can turn it around so it's this way. Orientation is locked. Rotate the device back. All right. So there we have it. Thanks for being here, you guys. Take care. How do I turn it off?